Back to the Neil Haley show, and I am excited about this guest. Uh, child star now in this new movie that we're going to be talking about today, Sierra McCormick. Sierra, thanks for stopping by. We're going to talk about the new movie, Edge of Everything. How are you today?
Thank you, Neil. I'm about as good as can be at 7:20 California time in the morning. So
No
thank
doubt,
you
no
for.
doubt. Let's just talk about, child actor now at this level, playing these different roles. Could you ever imagine that you were going to be in this position as an actor?
Um, well, I think the nature of acting in the film industry is so kind of up in the air, all over the place. It's sort of impossible to me to fully visualize what could happen in the next X amount of years, just because anything could happen, and that's kind of what I love about it. So I always hoped when I was a kid that I'd get to continue into being an adult actor. Um, but I didn't imagine this scenario specifically just because it's kind of impossible to. But I always hoped, I loved doing it so much when I was a kid, when I was younger, that it was always my great hope that I'd be able to sustain a career into adulthood. And so far, I guess I kind of have. So,
Yeah, I mean, just your career alone and as a child actor was pretty amazing so far, right? Some of the experiences you've had.
yeah, no, I loved every second of it, honestly. And so when I did have to sort of miss out on typical child things, adolescent things, birthday parties, graduation, school events, sleepovers, things like that, it was always a sacrifice that was worth making, even to me at such a young age, just because I loved being on camera, I loved pretending, and I loved being on set so much. So through all the sort of trials of being a kid in the industry, I'm still very happy with all my choices.
All right. Now, Sherry from Storehouse Media has a question. She's going to look at it more of the story and talk about your current movie, but also she loves to paint a story involved in a lot of it because she's a publisher and a writer and an author. Go ahead, Sherry.
Hi,
All right, cool.
Sierra.
Very.
Yeah, you
Hi.
have got quite the resume. I mean, Criminal Minds, wow, Monk, Land of the Lost. It go on and on and on. You've got upcoming film coming out that's won some awards already, right? So,
Yeah. Very.
what
Yeah.
is it? Go ahead.
Oh no,
So,
sorry. You go ahead.
what is it that got you into the whole acting scene? Because you're so passionate about it, obviously.
Yeah. So I grew up in Palm Desert, which is Palm Springs area, which is not super far from Los Angeles, but also not super close either. It's about a 3 hour drive. Um, and I was sort of a hyperactive kid. I was in trouble a lot in school when I was young. I had a lot of personality. I had a lot of how would you say, a lot of energy. I was very extroverted. I loved to perform, and because of that, I got into drama club at my school. And through that, I loved it so much. My drama teacher sort of told my mom one day, she's really good at it. She used to like it a lot. If you wanted to go up to LA and try it out, here's what you could do. And I had to beg and beg and beg and plead with my mom to let me do it. And her thing was, okay, well, we can do one audition, but if you don't get that audition, then you have to wait till you're older. And I booked the first audition, baby. So she had to make it on her promise, and I've been doing it ever since.
You
Well, I
know,
bet your mama's glad she did that right, that she listened to you.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Sierra, you seem like you definitely are a leader. Now, talk about the edge of everything. I watched the trailer. I can't wait to watch the film. It really is kind of, your look at your career as a child actor now moving into this next level of an actor. You really have been put on the edge for sure in this character, right? So tell about your character and the premise of the movie.
Yeah, one could say the edge of everything, perhaps even.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry, dumb joke. But the movie follows me, and I play Abby, and she's 14, turning 15. She's navigating that precarious moment between childhood and adulthood, the throes of adolescence, essentially. But in addition to that horrifying ordeal, she's navigating the loss of her mother. The movie starts just after she loses her mother, and she has to navigate the relationship with her dad, who she hasn't been close to in years. And she moves back in with him, and he's got a new girlfriend, and that causes friction and sort of leads Abby to seek out friends that get her into substances and activities she's too young for. And she makes some choices that don't reflect a fully developed frontal lobe, but I think that's what adolescence is probably for. So it follows her on that whole journey.
It's scary, and I'm going to go to Sherry, and then Sherry has another question that, it's scary to know specifically enough kids these days. And I guess when I was a kid too, that we just don't make the right decisions. And a lot of times as adults, we don't make the right decisions either, as we see in stories. So you give an opportunity, these things happen. But go ahead, Sherry, with your next question.
Yeah, I was looking at Edge of Everything, and it's really rocking it. You guys won some awards, right? The
Yeah, the
movie?
Panavision Award for Best Independent Film at the Santa Barbara Film Festival is such an honor.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. And so what is it that pulled you to that role of Abby?
Well, there was a few things actually. So I had a couple friends, a couple longtime friends in the cast. Anthony Del Negro, who plays Dylan, and Emily Robinson, who plays Sarah, are two people that I'd known for a long time. And then the opportunity to make a bunch of friends. Honestly, when I read that the movie had all these wonderful scenes between young friends, so be it me and a bunch of other actors my age, kind of having these experiences, that was very appealing because prior to filming this movie, I'd been doing a lot of genre work, and then on top of that, a lot of very singular work. So a lot of scenes with just me, or maybe me and one other person. So when this came across my radar, and it was so grounded and naturalistic, grounded in reality. And then on top of that, all the wonderful group scenes that I got to have. Both of those aspects were very appealing, just because it was very different from what I had been doing up until that point. And then the opportunity to sort of play a teenager and have these very sort of classic teenage experiences. I had sort of an unorthodox, childhood and adolescence, being a working actor the entire time. So I did miss out on some of these classic teen experiences. And so the opportunity to sort of vicariously through Abby, give myself some of these experiences was very appealing and fun. And I'm really glad I did it because it was a great time.
And thinking about it, how much of Abby is you? Just like bottled up in a way because of you being a child
Uh,
actor. Yeah.
Quite a bit, actually. So I didn't have a lot of those experiences. I didn't do a lot of those things, but Abby's personality and the way she kind of moves through her world is very similar to how I was when I was that age. And coincidentally, I got to have that really confirmed because when we showed this movie in Mill Valley where we shot it, my best friend since like 2003, since like second grade, came and saw it, and I was like, "All right, you're the one person here that would have actually known me at this age, like how accurate was it?" And she was like, "It was you. It was crazy." So, I think I did a decent job, sort of injecting a lot of truth, or at least I hope I did, because I injected a lot of myself at that age.
Oh, you definitely did. Oh my Sherry, that's I mean, just her personality now. We could just tell, what, at your age, Sierra, you just really definitely know what you want, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate enough to have known what I wanted for a very long time since I was a very little kid. And I know a lot of other people don't have that experience, and I'm very grateful to know because I know a lot of people my age, other friends I have that aren't in entertainment, and they're struggling to sort of figure out still at this age what they want. And I think I'm very lucky that I knew at such a young age. 8-year-old me actually did know something. Actually,
All right. Go ahead, Sherry. One more question, quick question for Sierra.
Okay. So, with every story, there's a message to me. There's always something you can pull out of a story. What do you want viewers to pull out of this movie?
well, my hope is that people watching this movie, if they know someone who is going through this sort of precarious moment in adolescence, to be kinder to them, just because
Yeah.
it's hard, it's rough, it's a difficult thing to navigate. And if you are currently going through adolescence and you see this movie, I hope you take away that you should give yourself some grace, be a little kinder to yourself, because I was very hard on myself at this age, and I wish I'd been a little nicer to myself. So that's what I hope people take away, is that, you should be kinder to those going through that very difficult time, because I think we can get older and forget that it was very difficult.
All right. Well, thanks again, Sierra. It was great talking to you. Again, the film is available, premiere on VOD and other digital platforms tomorrow. So appreciate it. Thanks again. Appreciate it,
Best
Sierra.
of luck.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
You're
you.
listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.